Coming up on this episode of the NVC Studio.
Back of his neck and in front, and it's going to support his neck from when he has any crashes.
Please stay tuned. Don't go away. Onweni Mawetu and welcome by the NVC Studio, where communication is, as is always the case, non-violent. My name is Sisanda Mkumeli and our sign language interpreter for today is Tshepiso Mokwena. The Cape Town Motocross Club, as it's currently constituted, has been around since 2002, and its goal is to promote and host motocross racing in the Western Cape. And so on the NVC Studio today, I'll be chatting to some representatives and members from the Motocross Club in the mother city. Up first, I'm chatting to the Vice Chairman, Mark Sangster. Mark, welcome to you and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
What is motocross racing?
Motocross involves a number of motorcycles, as many as 20 to 25 that go in a certain direction around a track, which is normally built up from clay, loose sand, quite a bit of mud. The races go around, they ride for a certain amount of time, normally around 15 minutes plus a lap, and the rider who completes the most laps in that time is regarded as the winner.
And the heart behind the Western Cape Club, the Cape Town Club in particular, is to reach young people. Can you speak into that for us, please?
Yes, certainly. We've got 70 active members at the moment. 80% of those members are in fact below the age of 21. The majority of our members are teenagers, and we as the organizers and administrators of the club and the sport are very mindful of the challenges facing teenagers today, particularly in Cape Town as the mother city. The sport, as we run it and administer it, advocates no drugs, no alcohol, no smoking. They have to be very, very fit. And given the challenges facing the youngsters today, there's nothing better than to get them to the motocross track on a weekend, sometimes during the week, for them to go around, practice, ride, have fun, and hence keep them off the streets, out of the malls, and give them something more challenging to do. It's also an adrenaline sport which appeals to teenagers, both boys and girls. I might add that we've got one or two teenage ladies that will give the boys a challenge
for their money
any day of the week and twice on a Sunday. So the youngsters absolutely love it. The moms and dads come around. It's really a community of people that do motocross, and we have awesome fun. The youngsters absolutely love it, and the sport really caters for everybody from a beginner to the semi-professional rider.
And in your club, you've got a range of ages. You're saying from 4 to 40, really no age limit as such.
Absolutely correct. We've got riders from as young as 4 or 5 years old. In fact, we've got about 20 of them that are below 8 years old. Callum on my left here is one of them. He is 6 years old. He's been riding for 2 years. He's one of the shining stars of the club at the moment in the junior ranks. The majority, as I said, are teenagers and certainly below 21 years of old. And then we do have a couple of dads who are brave enough to go out and have some fun with the younger boys and girls.
Just briefly, Mark, how did you come to know about motocross racing, particularly this club? I understand that you yourself you didn't go through the ranks, but your 3 sons are all participating. Tell us about that.
I've got 3 sons, big teenage boys, and they were terribly bored. Whenever we went out as a family, they would get bored. They could only watch so many movies. And then somebody suggested that I get them a dirt bike. And when we go out into the countryside, let them loose in the dirt and let them have fun. Well, that's the best advice that anybody's ever given me. The boys loved it. I bought them 2 relatively inexpensive bikes. They went out, they destroyed it within about 6 months, and then I had to get a slightly better bike, which I did. And after about a year, We then went to one of the tracks in Cape Town, and that's when I was introduced to the club. Now, 2 years or 3 years down the line, the boys have brand name machines. They are all racing, they are all part of the club, and they absolutely love it. They cannot wait for a Saturday or a Sunday to meet their friends first and foremost, and then to go out and practice certain maneuvers on the track, the jumps, the rhythms, the whoops. They absolutely love it, and I don't think there's anything better for a teenager to do than that. So we stumbled upon the sport, just somebody giving us advice, saying get your sons a dirt bike and let them go and play in the dirt and have some fun. And that's exactly what we did, and we're still enjoying it a couple of years later.
Well, glad to hear that. And when we return, we'll be chatting to a young person, Anthony, 21 years old, really doing well for himself as far as motocross racing is concerned, hearing from him what he loves about the sport. Stay tuned. With an active membership of around 70 people between the ages of 4 and 40, the Cape Town Motocross Racing Club has really got a heart for young people and to inspire them and get them involved in this extreme sport. And up next on the NVC studio, I'm going to be talking to the club's #1 racer, Anthony Reynard. Anthony is 21 years old and he's been doing this now for 11 years. Anthony, welcome to the NVC studio.
Thanks very much.
Thank you for joining us. 10 years, what do you enjoy most about what you're doing, to have stuck it out for so long?
I just enjoy it that it's an individual sport and you're out there on your own, just doing what you love. As per any other sport, I think the harder you work at it, the better results you'll get, and it's a sport that you really need to put a lot of effort into. You need to be physically fit as well as mentally fit to do well.
And I mean, judging by what we'll see later on in the video, also very conscious about safety. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, safety definitely is a major issue. You need to have the right protective gear. There's been quite a few injuries in the sport. That's why you would go out and spend quite a bit of money on good protective gear.
And if you can just talk us through how a person goes about gearing themselves up in order to be safe, and just demonstrate some of the things that you've brought with you.
Okay, well today we have little Callum here, and he's brought along his protective gear. The number one thing that you would like to have is a chest protector, which protects you from all the roost and the rocks and the mud that's going to get thrown against your chest. So he'll just slip that over his head. On top of that, once that is clipped in, Callum just clipped this in for me. Once that is clipped in, I would think the most important part of the safety gear would be the Liet brace, which is, it's a neck brace that goes around the back of his neck and in front, and it's going to support his neck from when he has any crashes or anything like that. It's going to help him. And we are in trouble.
Is it?
Okay, well, that's doing its job.
We get the gist of that one. And then there's the helmet as well.
Yeah, and what he has on already.
And just talk us through what he has, because he's got stuff covering his knees to protect them, and the shoes, are there special kinds of shoes that he wears?
Boots, yeah. Okay, so should I just start from there?
Yeah.
Okay. So like we said, the chest protector and the neck brace is the vital parts, but as well you'd like to protect your knees, your shins, your ankles, your feet and your toes. So you need to have some good boots which have toe caps on, and they're very supportive on the ankle and on the shins. And then as well, you need to have knee guards, which is going to help your knees from twisting at any angles, which you jumping over jumps, you going into 90-degree corners, your leg does tend to twist. Okay. So, yeah, and then we get back to having the helmet. This is one of the main things for me. Like, people go out and spend a little bit of money on a cheap helmet, where, yes, you're saving a bit of money, but it's your head at the end of the day. And yeah, I've been through quite a few with lots of concussions, so it is the main thing for me. And then we also have to slip that on for me, Callum. We also have goggles, which will go around the helmet to protect the eyes, because it is another important thing. Everything is important on your body, but you want your goggles to protect you from any rocks, any stones that can get into your eyes.
Talk us through the bike as well, because it's obviously designed to go at a certain speed. How fast normally? Well,
this is a little 50cc. This should get up to top speed about 50 k's an hour. Which is fast for a little 6-year-old, and you get guys that are starting 3 to 4 on these things.
But now I'm just thinking, as a parent, maybe you might get a little bit nervous. My 6-year-old and something going that fast.
Yeah, I suppose you would get nervous, but there is smaller bikes. This is obviously because he's at a good level, where if you get a 3 to 4-year-old that's starting as a beginner, you get a little junior 50cc, which goes 20-30 kilometers an hour. And
another thing with the club, you're quite focused on making sure that people, or whoever the riders, ride at an appropriate level. So you won't have a 7-year-old who's just starting off, jumping off, high buildings. Talk to us about that.
For sure. There is different. That's why there's different classes in the club. You'll have the 50cc juniors and 50cc senior bikes, where at the level Callum's at, he'll race in the seniors, and the guys that are just starting off will be in the juniors. Then you have the intermediate classes when you get to my age, or guys that are 30, 40 years old. They ride in an intermediate class where they're just they're social riders that are there for fun. And then you have your semi-pro classes. There's lots of different classes to accommodate certain levels of riders.
Yeah. Take us now to, as we round up, you at the starting line, what is going on in your head and in your heart? Because, for me personally, my heart would be pumping out of my chest.
Yeah, no, that is the scariest part of the race for most people. I'm quite confident in it because I've been racing for quite a while. But when you got 30 to 40 riders, the maximum of 40 riders lined up next to you on the starting line, and your bikes are all started up, and you've got a 15-second board which they hold up, and then for 10 seconds, and then they'll twist it to a 5-second board, and then the gates will drop, and you all shoot down the start line to a left or right turn, where most of the time 5 guys can get through it at a time. So it is scary, and you've got lots of thoughts running through your head at that time. Obviously you would like to be the first one to the turn, but you don't always have the pick out of the hat. So.
Well, let's take a look at that exact race, or that phenomenon happening in this next video. Stay tuned.
Okay, now Chris, you just came off the track. Tell me, how is it out there? Are you happy with the track's conditions today?
Yeah, I like the track quite a lot. The routes are quite technical. The back section is quite slippy, but I try to, I like the track.
And how's your competition doing today? Do you feel confident? Do you think you can do your best out there and get a good position?
Yeah, I think I can do quite good. Maybe I can even get a first.
Well, we look forward to watching your race, and best of luck. Thanks. Break from motocross. What made you come back? Do you love the sport so much?
Lots. It's basically my life, and I'm glad to be riding again. I picked up a very good sponsor, for this year, and hopefully we can do well.
Are you back for good? Do you think you'll be racing for a while again?
Yeah, no, we're back and we're going for first.
Well, best of luck. We hope to see you do well in the race. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
You come a far way for every race. Do you really love the sport that much that you'll travel that far for every race?
Yeah, for sure. We have no tracks down there in Islay, so I mean,
And how long have you been riding now?
I think about 9 years riding. Yeah.
And do you feel confident today? Do you feel you're prepared? And is the track in good condition?
Yeah, the track's awesome. It's really moist and got a lot of traction out there.
Well, best of luck for today. We hope you do well. Thanks.
To get back up onto the podium. Good luck to number 48, Blackman Harlan, back to emergency.
Well, certainly something not for the faint-hearted. I mean, that gentleman there seemed so proud of all his injuries. It got me shivering a little bit. But it's not, as we'll hear now from our next guest, the PRO of the Cape Town Motocross Club, Michelle Blake. It needn't be anything dangerous, Michelle?
No, not
at
necessarily.
Talk to us about how people can become, if you'd like to be a member, what is the process?
Okay, well, I would suggest that before you do anything else, come down to our track, come and have a look how the guys ride, come to one of our races and see what it's about. And then if you're interested, I'll give you our website later. All our contact details are on there. What we do have, because we are all for development of the youth and the sport in the Western Cape, we actually make some of the smaller little bikes like this one available at the track.
Great.
You can bring your child down, we'll kit them out, we'll put them on the track, we'll have some of our riders help them and assist them and see whether they like it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, and from there, if you're interested, you want to start racing, you join our club. You've got to join Motorsport South Africa. Their offices is in Killarney in the Western Cape. You can also do it online. So, but yeah, come down to the track first and we'll assist.
And then once a person has signed up,
Yes.
how often do you meet? How do the meetings work?
The races, look, we normally race on average about once a month in the season. We also have fun days, which is not necessarily the guys that want to race. As you said, it doesn't have to be an expensive sport. You can just ride for the fun, and we host fun days through the club where it's minimal. You pay something like 100 Rand and you come for the day. You can come and ride. We have fun events. And it's just introducing the sport as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you've got a big competition coming up that people
Yes.
can attend. Tell us about that.
Yes, on the 20th of August, we've got a very big competition coming up. We're hoping to have in the region of 60, 70 entries. It'll be juniors and seniors racing. Racing starts around between 9 and 10 in the mornings. There will also be other events. There'll be stalls, we'll have music, there's fast food, everything. So it's going to be a fun event.
For the
People
whole
must,
family.
For the whole family. The sport is for the whole family.
Give us your website, please, Michelle.
Okay, our website is www.ctmx.co.za. You can also find us on Facebook at CTMX, Cape Town Motocross Club. We've got a group and a profile.
And your races, where do they normally happen, your meetings?
The home base of CTMX is at Melkbos currently. It's the Melkbos 4x4 track. It's very easy to find. You go down the West Coast Road towards Saldanha and you'll see it on your right-hand side. There's a big sign that says Melkbos 4x4.
Okay. And then, just in closing, a short encouragement of why people should expose themselves to this.
It's an absolutely wonderful sport. Like you've heard from the previous people you spoke to, it targets the youth, keeps them off the streets. Got to be top fit to do this. You cannot do drugs or party too much if you want to be a really active participant in the sport. And it's fun for the whole family. You know, it's a family thing. If you come down to a track on a Saturday, you'll see moms there, dads there, kids are there, friends are there. It really is a fun sport and club to belong to.
I'll do the enduro first, and unfortunately only one in this class, but I need to find out from him why he transgressed. When I say trans, I mean went one up from quads to two wheels. Well done, enduro class, Jared Falkenberg.
Yeah, but talking about old, it's like you get to our age and you got to get to that place where you got to start like detoxing during the week, and instead of like using deodorant normally, I spray myself Q20. And like I go like, and it's like obviously detoxing, staying away from the smoking and the cigarettes and the beers, and it's like, oh, way gone. But most of all and stuff like that, for these days to happen, I just really want to give it up to the man above. He's the one who just gave me my passion, my desire, that I can stand here, I can live it out, I can actually just be myself, and just for my wife as well, who really comes and really supportive in these times and stuff, and just other guys as well, and really I like just to make these days happen. I appreciate it.
Right, and in top slot, and the Cape Town hopeful for the Nationals and the AMU. Well done, first place, and you can see the difference at 4 seconds a lap. Well done, Anthony Reynard.
I'd just like to say a big thank you to Hendrik for prepping the track. I think everyone, he gave us a good track today. Cape Town Motocross for putting the regional together. There's not a lot of entries, but it was possible to do it. And all the sponsors that are behind our team. Thanks.
And in first position, it's been a day for him. 4 heats in total. He's ridden the wheels off his bike. Well done, Oliver Glover!
Well done, buddy. Where's your game? Guys, we're going to start off with the newbie class, and before we start, just like to, once again when you sit around, we'd just like to say it's been great, it's been a wonderful day, and having some of the upcountry riders coming down here, or other coastal riders coming to ride with us, and definitely way upcountry, Josh, welcome, I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves.
pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you.
Fast and not furious, but rather friendly, and that is the Motocross Racing Club in the Western Cape. If you'd like to get in touch with them, Michelle, give us that website again.
It's www.ctmx.co.za.
www.ctmx.co.za. From me, Sisanda Mcimeli, it's good night. Thanks for watching. For more information on the show, you can visit my website www.thenvcstudio.co.za or join my Facebook page, The NVC Studio, and let's keep talking. See you next week, same time, same place, one love.